Give the person next to you a high five, say, you got this. Alright, so, like I said, we gotta move because I promised you to deliver you guys. So everyone please come back to your seats. Come back to your seats. Now, whatever you shared, I want you to remember it because we're gonna do really quickly, before we get into the next piece, does anybody want to share what was the thing that they got stuck on? Great volunteer, it's going to empower a lot of people. Yes?
It's not such a deep or personal thing.
That's
but
okay.
It's something that I've been fighting a lot of time, and I pay for my gym like since 2 years ago. I just don't know. I keep paying, I keep promising myself I'm gonna go, I have the equipment, I have my clothes, so I get dressed, and I don't know.
Got it. Let me ask you a question. Are you a parent by any chance? Are you a parent? Are you a parent? Okay. Do you have like a parent in your life, like mom, dad, or someone that you really care about? Okay. Now, let's say that person, maybe a parent or whatever, you knew that they had to take medication every day to be healthy, and you noticed for a week they didn't take their medication. What would you do? You can curse if you need to. You fight with them, right? So this is crazy, and I want to share something with you. I had the same conversation with my therapist. She said, wow, you're a leader, you do stuff for people, you mentor people. If someone in your staff has a trouble, you're always there from there. If your parent wasn't taking their medication, you would not let them go a week without taking medication. How come you don't give yourself the same energy? Right? What's the point of jumping and taking action if you haven't examined why? And I'm talking to her, but who am I talking to? Everyone, myself, everybody. Why do I give myself the leftover energy? Interesting, right? But everyone starts down here, but we never start with why would I give myself leftover? Let me ask you a question. Is anybody in this audience single? Okay, if you went on a date and the guy got there or girl got there and was like, hey, oh my gosh, listen, I had a crazy day, I was doing this and I helped all these people. Hey, I'm about to give you all my leftover energy. How would you feel? You'd be like, F you, right? But wait, why is it okay to do it to ourselves? And this goes to my, can you go to the next slide? Understanding self-worth is the beginning of progress. Everyone write that down. Understanding self-worth is the beginning of progress. If I don't feel good about myself, of course I'll self-sabotage myself. Of course. Right? A lot of times we're like, why can't I get this? I can't go to the gym. I can't get that body I want. I can't date that person I want. I can't get that job I want. The reason is because I don't believe I deserve it. I'm done. I can leave now. That's it. I can leave now. And then we spend 80% of our time on actions, jumping into action, and no time onto, why don't I believe I deserve it? Why does the person on the subway who takes all the extra space with their legs, you know that person? Who's eating on the subway, getting stains on the seat? How come they deserve it and I don't? By the way, I hate that person. You ever see that person? Especially, it's usually guys, unfortunately. Ladies, you ever see you trying to get a seat, and this dude, he's got his man spread, and he's taking 2 seats in his rush hour, and he's got his milkshake. You mean to tell me he deserves it more than you? Does that person deserve love and happiness more than you do? But that's how we act, right? Does that person deserve to have the energy, vitality, and body that they want more than you? Crazy. Wow. But we do that. We do that. I do that. I don't want you to think I'm speaking from here. I'm with y'all. Okay? So, this is what I'm gonna do. Is Destiny still here? Okay. What's up? How you doing? That's my people right there. She's writing, and I can't wait to read her life story. So this is what we're gonna do. We have this worksheet that's going out right now. So if you can have you're gonna have two things. It's gonna be the remove the lid worksheet, okay? As that worksheet is going out, I'm gonna have you start filling it out, and it's gonna start to answer these questions about where did that conversation start from. Oops. Okay? As that worksheet is going out to save time, I want you, and remember I said predicting? I want to predict that this is going to be really hard for a lot of you, what I'm about to ask you to do next. Matter of fact, I want to predict this is going to be the hardest thing anyone's asked you to do today. Fight me. Can I predict? Fight me, predict. I'm going to predict it's going to be the hardest thing, and it's so simple when you hear it, you're like, nah, but I guarantee you, you won't admit it to me, but you look at me and you'll agree to you like, Bert, why did you ask me to do that? I don't know how to do that. Watch this. Watch. I want you to turn to the person next to you, and I want you to tell them 5 things you like about yourself. Fight me. I told you, right? Fight me. Fight me. Why is that so hard? I guarantee you if I asked you the reverse, y'all be done. If I said, tell me 10 things I don't like, would you be done? Yes or no? Right? Write it on the back of your paper. 5 things you like about yourself. Write it on the back of your paper. 5 things you like about yourself. That's everybody. If you're not doing it, yeah. By the way, seriously, if you're not doing it, I want you to get upset at the fact that I predicted your behavior. I want you to say, why am I giving my power away to this man in this extra tight H&M jacket? Right? He's got to be wearing a medium. Why am I giving my power away? Right? 5 things you like about yourself. If you gotta text somebody, hey, can you tell me like what's one of my qualities that you like? If you gotta text someone, maybe you gotta ask your neighbor. Matter of fact, you can ask me if you're struggling, because a lot of times this is one of the things that people don't practice. They really don't. Our society doesn't tell us to practice. You know what our society tells us? Feel bad about yourself so I can sell you something that you can buy so you can feel better. Or you feel bad that you can't do X, Y, and Z, or you feel bad that you can't save money, you feel bad you can't do this, why don't you buy this shirt, it'll make you feel better. That's what society tells us to do. Well, ask them what are 5 qualities you like about me. Yes? Okay, yes, I that you like about it. Don't sell yourself short. By the way, guys, you want to know how crazy? You want to know how crazy and how much we don't practice this? Someone just asked me and said, I can only get to 3. And I was able to pick out one for them. I was like, yo, if you're here, you're working on yourself. You like to learn. Yo, that's good. How many people in this audience know someone that could have been here but they're not? Right? You're here working on yourself at the beginning of the year. Give yourself credit for that. Facts. Don't let someone tell you down, right? And how many people are going to take an idea here that they learned today and they're going to share with at least one friend? Raise your hand. So you basically love to teach your friends. You bring positivity. Why is that? I like you so much more than the dude on the subway with the man spread. Why are we hyping that dude up? You're going to teach positivity. I give him a good idea. You participated yesterday, I saw you. Your energy, you walk into the room, you know what I'm saying? Like, you make it easy to be a speaker because you have a great positive energy. You sit in the front. Yo, it says something about you. Did you know that if you sit in the U in a class, your grades are like 30% higher? If you sit in the front, this U right here, in any class, you want your grades to be 30% higher, sit in the U all semester. You're sitting in the U. If you're missing something on your sheet, just put, I sit in the U. Hey, put that too, like, hey. Right? is predictive. It's predictive. So, let's go to the next part, right? This is me showing myself some love, okay? Who looked better? Who looked better? No, somebody like the one on the left, he need to work on himself. All right, no. So I did that on Photoshop, right? So remember I said I want to do more stuff with technology. So, and I put this post. So I'll tell you, I went to my therapist, and they were like, "Yo, why do you keep giving yourself your leftover energy? How do you feel about yourself?" And we found out I feel actually really bad about myself. So for 21 days, I had to read 5 things I like about myself, and I had to have someone I trust read it to me. Because I didn't trust myself to read it in the energy and the positive energy that I need. And you know what it's allowed me to do? So I work at the Boys and Girls Club. I have a teen program. And you know what I did? I ordered affirmations. Student wrote affirmations for my teens. Because I said, I'm not going to do anything and be like false, right? And you know what's the favorite thing for my teens to do? Hey, Bert, are we doing the affirmations? They make me feel good about myself. You guys get that? There's a girl whose mom died last year. And somebody in her class said, I bet the reason your mom died is because you're ugly. Hold on. She's 13. By the way, everyone who's shocked about that, you speak way worse to yourself in the mirror. So pump the brakes. Let that hit you in the no. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If I can broadcast your thoughts, you speak. And you know how I know that? I speak to myself first in the mirror, right? So she said that to me and it broke my heart. But guess what? Whenever I pull out the affirmation card, she goes, can I go first? So if I didn't do this job to love myself, I couldn't help her love herself. Some of y'all trying to pour from an empty cup. Right? Your kid goes to you, Mommy, can I have some attention? Can I have some love? And you've been beating yourself up all day and you're pouring from an empty cup. Feel me? And I was pouring from an empty cup with my team. So this is the first part, okay? Y'all with me so far? Now, what do you have to do? Before you jump, you have to what? Before you jump, you have to what? Before you jump, you have to what? Let's keep doing it. So I'm going to show you one more thing. I just want to say thank you to Destiny. She was here last year. She came just to see me, and I really appreciate that. And she removed her lid by telling me like the things she was chasing. And I'm here to support you, and we're here to support you. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
She like, thank you. So, I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to show you how predictive this stuff is, right? How do I go to my channel? Alright, cool. Wait, can I get some volume? How do I get? Oh, cool. Remember I said if you know your lid, you can predict the next action? I saw this and it hit me in the gut because this is about a dude who's trying to do more music, right? Look at this conversation, and I want you to listen not from that person's perspective, but how it applies to your life.
I've been able to just get off my ass and just make some music.
So what are you doing instead?
I've been watching just Netflix.
There's a deeper reason, you know that, right? It's because you either don't really believe in the music or
I'm trying to perfect it too much.
you fucking are making up perfection. The fuck is perfection? You got your own bullshit barrier.
Yeah.
You're just not confident.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot of bigger reasons to why you're not doing it. Perfection's the disguise of insecurity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Right, like people are like, oh no, it's just not perfect, it's not ready yet. No. It means you're insecure.
So, write this in your notes. Perfection is a disguise for insecurity. And I'm very imperfect because I just wrote the quote. But I'm going to forgive myself. One of the reasons I didn't put music out is because I didn't feel like it was perfect. I just needed a better producer. The beat needed to be better. This vocal could have done a little bit better, right? It took me 3 years to write my first book. Perfection is a disguise for insecurity. Right? So, let's go predict 2019. So check this out. On your sheet, you have 2 worksheets. One says remove your lid, and then one says Bert's lid. So focus on this. When I break and have you guys work on the activity, you guys can look to mine as a example. So can we get to the next slide? Oh, by the way, speaking of perfection in disguise, how many people think that the reason they can't achieve their goals is because they don't have enough time? Like, raise your hand if you don't have enough time to achieve your goals. No, raise your hand. Honestly, not like, if you know if you believe that, right? Let me get if you know someone that's not achieving their goals because they don't have enough time. Let me get All right, so this is what I thought too, right? And I'm about to share with y'all my goal. So this was a couple weeks ago. If you have an iPhone, if you go to battery, if you go to settings and you hit battery, if you scroll down, it'll tell you your average screen time.
Any phone.
Yeah, and if you click on, you can go activity or battery usage. If you click activity, look at this. 11 hours on Instagram. What was this, the last 10 days? Man, if I scroll down WhatsApp, like 3 hours on WhatsApp. That's crazy. So 9 hours on screen time, 10 days. So that's about an hour a day on Instagram, right? Let me tell you guys what my goal is. If you go to what is Bert's remove the lid goal, we're gonna set these one in a second. My goal is spend 24 hours a week working on goals that are aligned with my purpose. So I call them happy hours, which means finishing or releasing my album, creating a hip hop STEM camp, and vlogging. Right? So here's what's crazy, 24 hours, right? The things that I could do, but I'm not doing. I'm gonna have everybody fill it out. Here's the thing, it's the things you can easily do. Don't be like, oh, if I, got a PhD in physics, I could achieve my goal. I'm not saying that's not easy for some people, but that's a longer, more complex goal, right? I wanna talk about the things you can easily do. So for example, mine is staying at a job with a 2-hour commute, right? I can literally go on LinkedIn and search jobs within an hour. Indeed lets you do that. You put a zip code, right? 2-hour commute. If I want to spend 24 hours a week and I got a 2-hour commute, that's 4 hours a day, right? 4 hours times 5 is how much? Right, I'm not gonna cut it all together, but if I cut it in half, that's 10 hours. I just gotta figure out 14 hours. And it looks like I'm spending about 11 hours on Instagram, right? So all of a sudden, I have no time, all of a sudden, 1 or 2 easy things, and I need to just figure out 3 hours in my day. The other thing I put, not sleeping by 9 p.m., so I want to wake up earlier and sleep earlier. That to me is actually an easy thing. For some people it's harder. I used to have insomnia for 3 years, but I spent like literally 6 months on I read Navy SEALs, how they fall asleep in 2 minutes during war. I do all these things where like I reduce the dim lighting of my screen. I bought an eye mask. I have like all this tea, so I can actually do it, I just don't do it. I could record music on my iPhone for 20 minutes a day. I'm like, I don't have studio money. Yo, the recorder on the iPhone is great for practicing. So these are all the things I'm doing, not doing. My secret commitment is, and I'm gonna have everyone fill this out, is I want to avoid disappointing my parents. For whatever reason, their approval is tied to my adequacy. Immigrant parents, you get a 98 on a test, they go, where's my other 2 points? You feel me? But we don't look at like what that actually creates, right? My secret commitment is to avoid feeling inadequate. So I've designed a life to avoid any inadequate feelings. Y'all wanna know how deep it gets? Y'all wanna know something super deep? Like how crazy it gets and predictive? Yo, can I be vulnerable with y'all? Can I just get like super real quick? I had a conversation with my mentor and I was telling him about my dating life, right? It's not going well. Put it together, like I sleep with my laptop. So I was telling him about this and I was like, yo, I was on this date and I tell him like, yo, when I'm on a date, I make a girl feel like she's the only girl in the world, right? I'm asking questions, follow-up questions, tell me more about you, that's interesting, how did you feel when that happened? Yo, your boss is crazy, girl. So then he goes, oh, that's cool, but he beat right through it. And he was like, let me ask you a question, Bert. His name's Uncle Mike. I'm like, what's up, Uncle Mike? He's like, are you being so charismatic and putting the attention 100% on her so she never has to find out about you? So here's what happens. My dating life is I go on 3 dates and they're magical. And the girl's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then after 3 dates, I always bail. Because how long can you keep up a date where it's you're talking the whole time? about 3 days. So the minute I feel like you can finally find out about me, and I might feel inadequate because maybe I'm not happy with how much I got saved in the bank, or I'm not happy because I haven't bought a home yet, or this, that, and the third, you gotta find that out about me, I leave. So you see how crazy it is? So no, but I'll make you feel so carried away on the thing you never get to ask me. I'm like, you know, it's crazy. Tell me about that experience. Oh, you wanted to go to Disney? You met me. So did you like Mickey or Goofy? You know what I'm saying? Like I had you feeling like I had you gassed up, but I didn't realize. Now, don't get me wrong. I am actually genuinely interested in someone if I take them out on a date. So if they're coming from a real place, but I overdo it because I'm so scared if they find out about me, they'll be like, he's not enough. We're gonna get to that. Yeah, she said why. We're gonna get to that. So I've designed my life to avoid any situation that will make me feel inadequate. To the point that, you know what my mentor told me? It's crazy. He's like, yo, Bert, he's like, next time you're on a date, be on a date and stop trying to be that girl's mentor. It's crazy. All right, let me get a if you know someone that always goes on dates with someone they're trying to fix. Let me get a Right? You know what's interesting? When you spend all your time fixing other people, what don't you have time to fix? Predictive. Right? So that's my lid. If you see the real me, you'll see that I'm inadequate. So, crazy, right? So this is why I don't want us to focus on jumping to action, or I'm gonna set my alarm to this, or I'm gonna do that. First thing is, understanding self-worth is the beginning of progress. You gotta remove the lid before you jump, right? You gotta figure out what that lid is for you. So you're gonna spend the next couple minutes, you're gonna go in that worksheet, and you're going to go, what is that goal that you talked about, the thing you wanted to achieve, and you were excited about it, but it didn't work? That's your remove the lid goal. And the criteria is it's gotta be important to you. It's probably important to the people around you, right? And it's gotta be framed in the positive. So don't say something like, I want to be a better listener, but if people stop saying stupid things, I'll be a better listener, you feel me? Now don't do that. Just say, I would like to be a better listener and more present in any conversation, right? That's framed in positive, it's focused on what you can do. You get that? Cool, so, right, what's your goal? Remove the lid goal. Then you're gonna write the things you could easily do or not doing. So for example, someone says, you know, I want to go to the gym more. Great. It would be easy to text a friend to say, meet me at the gym. It would. The crazy part of once you figure out what your lid is, you'll realize the stuff that you're not doing is actually easy, but you've designed the life to make sure you avoid it. The same way I told you this, that everyone knows that one person, they're always on time, but they never save money. Or they're always on time, they can plan, you know, they know the syllabus for all their classes. When you call them at night, and the phone always dies during the conversation, they got charged 15 minutes to call you back. It's like, are you a good planner or no? Only when it doesn't attach my self-worth. So, get to work. I want you to work with a partner. I want you to work in groups. So, find a partner, and you guys are going to work on this worksheet. And if you guys are willing to share, I'm going to do some coaching. I'm going to end this on a surprise little ending for you guys. By the way, as you're coming up with your lid, when you get to this part, usually, if you get stuck, it's usually connected to how do I feel about the past and how do I feel about myself. Usually something in that area will help to point you in a direction. So I'll let you guys work. I'll give you guys 10, 15 minutes to work on this.
Some people, process so much surprise, like some people's inner issues so far into that head, it starts coming out when they're adult. Now they have to solve it, and then they start losing people. That's how they feel anxiety and everything, and that's how they feel life. It gets deeper. I already feel
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna ask. This will benefit everybody. Would anyone want to do this like live? Like I'll give you some laser coaching where you start saying, we'll go through each column, because as you do it, I promise you it will help illuminate. Because some things that will come up is, I want us to avoid, okay, I got you, I'm happy to come on. I want you to avoid platitudes, like, oh, the thing I'm not doing is I don't have enough discipline. Or the thing I'm not doing is I'm not responsible enough. You gotta be very specific about what the action is. Like, so for example, let's say your thing is, I want to spend more time than with my daughter, right? The thing that I'm not doing is planning a weekend activity for us to do. Or the thing that I'm doing is when I get home, I don't take 15 minutes to ask her how her day was, right? If you don't put that, I guarantee you, predictive, those activities will persist, right? And then your hidden commitment is, if the opposite of that was true, what would you be afraid of? So for example, maybe you have a teenage daughter and you're like, well, the thing I'm afraid of is if I spoke to them and actually listened to them and they didn't care what I had to say because mommy's not cool, I feel like humiliated and not enough. So I pretend to be checked out. Y'all get that? So if you confront this, I guarantee you, you'll be able to address this. So yes, come on. Let's go. All right, you already, let's go. I got you. So we'll give her a round of applause. Y'all show some love. Alright, cool. So, tell everybody your name. Sandra. Okay, cool. So, what is your remove the lid goal? Let's go column by column. It's okay. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's get you to a place, because what's happening is, I'll tell you what's happening. Yeah. If you don't have a goal, I'm gonna show you how predictive this is. Where's the picture? Da-da-da-da-da. I'm gonna show you how much this controls your life. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I don't know where the picture is, but I want you to imagine that box was closed. And that, by the way, this is how they train grasshoppers. They put them in a shoebox. They try to jump because they don't want them to jump too high and jump around. And what happens is every time they jump, what happens? What do they hit? They hit the lid. Now this is why there's no goal here. And tell me if you relate to this. How many people have been jumping for a while at a certain goal, and you hit the lid so many times that now you're exhausted, you can't even get the courage to jump anymore? Let me get a if you know somebody like that. Damn, I've been trying to lose weight for so long. You know what? Forget it, it's not even worth it. Man, I've been trying to get my grades up for so long. You know what? Man, I've been trying to get in a relationship for so long. You know what? I'll just focus on me, it's not enough. So it's easier to pretend not to care, to have a micro disappointment, and to actually go back out and risk being disappointed. Y'all get that? This predicts. That hit you, right? I'm telling you, like whatever we get down and we work through this, it literally will predict your behavior. I would like to give you that control and power back over your life, as opposed to a piece of paper or a conversation that was probably put into your head when you were 5 years old by an adult. Y'all cool with that? All right, so let's take away everything. If you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew nobody would judge you, what's one thing that if it happened in the next 12 months, it would like make you smile, you'd be happy? What'd you say? Okay, so lose weight. Okay, that's fine. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So you have a certain target of weight that you want to lose. Okay, cool. Now, what are things you, so just probably put it down. Now, what are some things you can do, easily do, or stop doing that would help you in that goal? Now, mind you, this is not about judgment. Don't be like, yeah, but I kind of do this sometimes, and sometimes I lost my sugar. This column is all about like just listing it out, right? So for example, I want to be performing on stages. Things I can easily do. I can literally go on social media for 15 minutes, find showcases, and like send them a message, here's my SoundCloud, right? But I don't do it. It's 15 minutes a day, right? So I want you to think about like, oh, I want to get that job for $30,000 more. What can I do? Respond to the email within 24 hours. Is that easy to do or hard to do? Easy to do or hard to do? Some of y'all are like, I don't be responding to my emails like that. That's cool. All right, so what are some things you could do or stop doing that are easy to do? Yeah. So you're saying when you get home, instead of go to sleep, you can work on exercise on your own. Is that realistic? I want it to be easy. Is that realistic? What time do you get home?
Like 12, 9.
In the morning? Okay. Is it easy to work out at 1 in the morning? No. So that's, again, let's not hide. Yes? Do you take notes in class? Thank you so much for that comment. So she talked about eating, right? By the way, question. The science of losing weight, is it actually difficult? Does everybody know that like literally the easiest thing you can Google is that if you exercise and watch your calories, does everyone know that that's how you, does anyone that doesn't know that? It does, no, there are nuances, don't get me wrong, but in terms of like the actual science and the big idea of losing weight, is it actually difficult? No, it's the lid. People jump to the action without the lid, so that's what that's what you're probably, yes. Hold on one second. So what are some things, I want to make this real for you. And by the way, I only really want to coach people that actually want to get through it, right? So what are some things you can stop doing? Or things you can do that would help you?
Something I can do is stop eating late. I don't usually eat late per se. No, I'm just saying, I don't usually eat late per se. It's just that like sometimes I don't eat the right time.
Got it.
Out of the night, but maybe I can wake up like sometimes I wake up at 5 and sometimes I don't until like 4 or 5 p.m.
Okay. Now, so basically, I really want to make this simple, right? So what happens when you eat when you're stressed and it's late? Do you eat healthier or? Right? So maybe it's eat breakfast, like a healthy breakfast, right? Is that easy to do? I can't do this for you. I can't remove your lid. I can't do that. That's not what I'm here to do. All right? Are you comfortable going through the rest? I'll bring someone else. It's fine. You sure? Okay. So what else can you do?
Well, she said I can.
No. Because what's happening right now is, well, this person said with that person. Where else do you do that in your life? Where else do you do that in your life? let other people's opinions dictate your behavior. Where else do you do that? Okay, do you do that in other areas of your life?
I mean, I don't know, I don't want to.
Do you guys see how this is predicting her behavior? By the way, am I talking to her or who else am I talking to? Right? So it's like, I can't even get through and tell you like what I'm not doing. Here, let me ask you a real question. Is there anything you feel guilty about when you do when it comes to weight loss? A thing you do, I shouldn't have did that. Yes or no? Yeah? Oh, so you have the answer. You are capable. You see this game that we play, guys? You see this game? What you guys don't understand is that a lot of y'all walking around thinking, I'm not capable, that's why I can't lose weight. The reverse is true. You're brilliantly capable and manipulative at winning another game. There's another game you're playing that you're winning, but it costs you the goal that you tell everyone you want to achieve. You guys get that? So she's actually very smart. You see how she's manipulating and controlling this whole conversation? You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not going to embarrass me in front of these people. I'm going to give you no information. I'm going to drag this information out. I'm going to have everybody looking at me. I'm going to make you look stupid because you made me look stupid. Wow. Right? You are a wonderful person, but I want to let you know that you are stubborn and resentful. Right? And when you feel like someone's pushing you, you hit them with the same energy. Even if it hurts you. Do you get that? Is that true? Mm-hmm. Who am I talking to? Her or